Hi, I am Terry Spear and I'm your Executive Director in your new business with Pampered Chef. And I'm so excited to welcome you to our organization. We are so glad that you're here. So I want to explain a little bit about how the people that you've connected with so far kind of lay out. So first of all, you have a recruiter. That recruiter is the person who helped you join the business. Now, you will also have a director. If your recruiter has built their own small team, they will be your director as well. But if not, then you will have an actual director. And your recruiter and your director will partner together to help you have a very successful business. Now, as your executive director, I could also be your recruiter and I could also be your director. It just depends on who signed you. So when you come into this, your recruiter and your director are going to be the go-to people for everything that you need. But if I'm not either of those, I want you to know that I'm here to help you as well. If you have questions and you can't reach them, or maybe you're wanting to really turn your business into a full-time income, if that's the case, let me know. I'm always looking for people in our organization who want to build a growing and successful business and turn it into, something amazing. I've been in business for 20 years and this is a full-time income, so I can help you do that if that's what you want to do. Now, the first thing that I'd like to talk about are opportunities. You're in business for yourself, and that's a wonderful thing, but it can also kind of be a burden because no one's there telling you what to do and where to be. And so you have to be the employee that you would want if someone was working for you. You have to show up. And we offer you a variety of opportunities to get additional training and support and just motivation and to work your business. They're all optional. But the more you participate in and the more people that you meet and connect with in this business, the more success you're going to have. I will be referring to a new consultant welcome doc that you will be given access to after this call. And so when I refer to that, all of the things that I mention will be in that document. And so one of the first things that you'll see in there is a calendar that gives you an idea of everything that we offer and when it's offered so that you can participate in as much as you can and want to. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is what makes your start any different from anyone else's. We all started with a new consultant kit. We all started with that same bundle of nerves in our bellies. We all began this business exactly like you are. The difference between where you are and where you want to be is simply your willingness to do the work. If people come into this and they put in the effort, they learn, they partner with people to help them, they have incredible success. One of the things that you're going to be offered, or you may already be participating in, is a personal coaching call with your director. We love to do these with our new team members because we have lots to share and we want to help you learn and grow as quickly as possible. So if you're having those calls, understand that they are a gift because not everyone in this company offers those. And if something happens that you can't make a call, let your director know and get on their calendar. You don't want to miss an opportunity to have those conversations with them because they have so much that they can teach you to make your business not only more successful, but easier and get more results with less effort. Now, another thing about this business that I think it's important to remember is that it is flexible. It is so flexible. You can work day, night, weekends, during the week. You can work at home. You can work at the ballpark. You can work in the car. So flexibility is not a problem. But the one thing it's not is it's not optional. If you want anything out of this business, you have to put in the time. But the beauty of a business like this is that you can do it when and where you want to. My best advice for you is to commit yourself to this. Don't come into this thinking, oh, I'll just do it for a little bit and see what happens. Or, oh, I'll give it a month or 2 months and see where it ends up. I want to challenge you to come into this and commit to it. to act as if you plan to do it forever, and really allow yourself to learn and grow as you get into this. I also want to encourage you to believe that you can succeed. I know that at times that might be hard, but your mind is your best friend, and everything that you tell it, it believes. And so you only want to be feeding yourself positive things about your business. And believing that you're going to succeed is a very important part of that. So make sure that you are having those self-talks that are positive. And if you need a little help with that, let your director or your recruiter know. We'd love to talk more with you about that, because we all have those times when we don't feel so confident. The last thing that I want to say is that you want to treat this as a business. Because if you treat this as a business, people will see it as a business, they will respect it as a business, and they will look at you as a business person. And what I mean by that is you want to be consistent in your business. You want to set aside time to work. You want to set aside time to do the things that need to be done to make this succeed. And when your family sees you setting that time aside, they will respect what it is that you're doing. And it will make it more of a family affair, and they will be more willing to support you and to help you. But if you're constantly running around and saying that you need to work on it and you just aren't in the mood, and if you're doing things like that, they're going to see that, and it's not going to feel like a business to them. And it's not going to feel like a business to you. So my best advice is, no matter how much or how little you want out of this, set aside time to work on it. And remember, that's flexible, but it's just not optional. So the next thing I want to talk about is I want to talk about bookings, because without parties, you really have no business, right? And so the first thing that we want to talk about is, how do you kick this off? You want to do your own first show as a grand opening. It's okay if you just recently had a party, because I'll bet you money there are people that never joined the group that you invited. There are people that you didn't even think to invite. And there are people that were in the last one that ordered that really can't wait to order again. Or there were people in the last one that couldn't order, but they can order now. So doing your own party is an excellent, excellent first place to start. And so I hope all of you will set that up right away. But then you got different ways of doing your own party. You can do it through Facebook. You can also do a shared rewards party where all of your people get a discount for participating and ordering from your first party. You can also do an online or like a catalog show where you just share a shopping link and you just share catalogs with people that you see. Another thing that I love to do is to take that catalog show and make it your no-show. And what I mean by no-show is when someone says no, they do not want to host a party now or ever, then you're able to say to them, well, would you like to see the catalog and potentially pick a few things up on my first grand opening party? And then you have that party link to share with them. And then you can also, if you're comfortable, offer in-home parties. That's totally your call. It's not mandatory, but they are really fun. So the next thing we'll talk about is, how do you ask people? In the document that you'll be directed to, there are some scripts that you can use. And these scripts are designed to help you get good results. So we hope that you will use them and personalize them a little bit, but don't take out the meat and potatoes of what's in there. Now, there's some very key things about asking people to host. Number one is, do not prejudge. You know these people that you're asking first, so it's really easy to decide for them. But that is a huge mistake, because when you decide for people, you end up missing so many opportunities. But also, you can hurt people's feelings. They may tell you 6 months later, I wanted to do one of your first parties, but you didn't ask me. And you may have think, well, it was because I thought you were too busy. But you prejudged. So don't prejudge. You also want to let them know how excited you are. Don't be afraid to share your excitement and to be excited about it because it's contagious. And you also want to make the invitation personal. So if you know somebody loves to cook, hates to cook, they have very busy schedules, they have multiple children and they don't have time to cook, they love hosting parties, whatever it might be, incorporate that into that invitation to ask them to host. You know, by asking them to host and putting in there, you know, something that's important to them, such as, I know that you love to cook, or I know that you guys are really busy and I think these tools could help you. That really increases the chances of that person saying yes. Now, you can ask people any way you want to. If you see people face to face, jump in and ask. Just ask. No is a word. It's 2 letters. Don't let that little bitty 2-letter word impact how you have success in this business. It's okay to get no's. It's normal to get no's. And you have to get no's because every no is a stepping stone to that next yes. And so ask people face to face, be willing to get that no and be okay with it. If you can't do face-to-face, if you're not seeing them, send them a phone call. Pick up the phone and call them. They can hear the excitement in your voice. They can hear your enthusiasm, and you can hear their hesitations, their concerns, and you can help them overcome those by making sure that they understand what it is you're asking them to do. You can also text people, and you can also send Facebook messages. Either of those is fine. But the more personal you can make that invitation, the better off you'll be. Now, one thing that I do recommend that you do is that you will go to the Team Excel, or if you're in my personal team, the Spear Superstars Facebook page. And in the files, you're going to find the new consultant training call 1 support materials. And that is where you're going to find the scripts and the things that I've shared with you that I promised you, okay? You will also find that there is a system that there is a script for following up with people who don't respond, because that's very common. You might think, well, they didn't respond because they don't like me. They're not interested. But they may not have responded because they accidentally opened the message and didn't get to look at it, or they were in the middle of something and they couldn't take the time. Or maybe they thought, you know, I should really do that. That would be fun. I think I might call her and do that. But then they just never do. So you want to use the words in the document that you're going to get, and you want to follow up within 24 to 48 hours. Because the fortune truly is in the follow-up. And when you follow up, you will get more yeses that way. Don't expect it. Every yes to be on the very first attempt. Now, the other thing that I want to encourage you to do is to have a tangible goal. Have something you're working towards, whether it's extra money, and if it's extra money, how much and for what? Maybe it's to pay off debt. How much do you want to pay off and what's the timeline? Maybe you want to take an incredible vacation this coming summer. How much is it going to cost and when do you want to go? Have something tangible. Have little things around the house that remind you of that. And that way, you're so excited when you see it that you want to dive in and work your business. And it's just those little reminders that can kind of keep you going on the days when it's not so easy because you have other things going on. Now, the last thing that I want to share with you is, remember this, things are going to be challenging. You're not going to know what you're doing. Things are going to take longer than they normally do. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to get frustrated, but that is okay. Anything new takes longer than it normally would. Anything new is frustrating. Anything new can be confusing or discouraging. And this is just that next new thing. And as adults, we don't always put ourselves out there and try new things. So this feeling of not knowing what you're doing might be really foreign to you right now. And that's all right. But just don't be afraid of it.